Hello and welcome back to my channel, Marta's Planning Mess. We are going to do a monthly flip through of my Papertess B6 Chapter 25, the Yearly Notebook. For those of you that are unfamiliar with Papertess, she uses, in her planner, she does use the Tomoe River paper. She does her own layouts and her own organization, which is what really got me excited about this particular planner. And she's one of the few people that does a B6. So that was what got me excited about this. It is quite thick. It is quite large because after you get all of your weekly, monthly, daily pages, then she gives you 100 more pages in the back. So it's got a lot in here, but it's a little chunky, a little big for daily carry and also for stickers. So I have tried to not really do that. So as I've evolved over time, this has been determined and turned into my journal more than a planner, which is fine. It's not going to be the workhorse daily carry that I had originally thought because it is just a little too much weight and too much size. So we're just going to kind of flip through here. I need to today pick out my picture for the month because in this section, I want to put a photo in here to kind of represent what was going on that month. I think that'll make this page really special. Home cooked meals. I need to go through my meal and fitness journal, which is a Hobonichi Weeks, and it tells me everything that I ate every day, pull out the home cooked meals that I liked and fill this in for the rest of the month. So it's just a way to look back and be like, what things are we eating and enjoying? Because it gets, sometimes I sit down and plan meals, your mind goes blank and you can't figure out what in the world to eat. And so this is hopefully to help combat that a bit. I've set this section up as a health log, and originally I did that because this was going to be my everyday carry and I figured I would have it with me going to the doctor. I'm still tracking it in here, but I have actually switched that a little bit more to my everyday carry, which is a smaller planner. So I don't want to waste this section. I'll fill it up with that, and I haven't thought of a better use for it. But if I do, I always can because I didn't fill out any of that stuff for any of the other months. If I have something better I want to track in here, I'll do it. Okay, maybe this would be a good place to track the books I'm reading. Sometimes ideas strike you in the strangest place. Okay, then there's also this quarterly section. I do, again, tracking symptoms and medicines and things like that. Mood. These things I'm doing all in my smaller everyday carry, so that's why it's kind of behind because I'll transfer it over, but I haven't, again, found a better use for the space, and so that's what I'm putting in here. But I do love having the ability to track things like this. So that's the 4 quarters, and then you have these 2 blank pages, and I have not figured out a use for them yet, so they're blank. All right, so here is my January monthly section. So what is unique about Papertess is that she gives you all of your month's information, monthly, weekly, daily, in one section. So everything for January is here before the February tab begins. And I really liked that because I would get frustrated with my Hobonichi cousin jumping from monthly to weekly to daily. Sometimes I would ignore the weekly completely, and I just wanted to see it all together. So that was one of the big things that attracted me to this particular planner. So here we are. I put in all of my monthly things that we do. Now, since this is no longer my everyday carry, I haven't kept up with any of the changing things, appointments, because I'm not looking to this for my appointments. I filled this out before I had made that decision. And because I think of things in an academic school year calendar format, I had the next 5-6 months worth of information already from my kids' schools and that sort of thing. So I could fill it out way before I needed to use it. So you get your monthly spread, then you have 2 pages, and I use this to track finances. So like, how much am I spending on my credit card? Am I paying it off if there's debt? And I keep track of my check register, and I have not updated this at all. So I need to do that. That is one of my to-do lists today, is to get my finances all in order. But I keep track of 2 different accounts, and the one account, everything goes through there automatically. And sometimes there's leftover money, so I might use it here and there, but it's not my workhorse account. That account I'm keeping track of in the back in these extra 100 pages at the back. And so I give myself a page a week to track things. And that is also something that I have fallen behind on, and I need to get caught up. So a thing for me to do today. So once you go through these 2 blank pages, which I have a use for every month, then we get into the weekly section. So this is my weekly section. And you have a horizontal layout. That was the one thing that really frustrated me with this planner, was that I really need a vertical. And so I went through lots of different layout options, made whole spreads out of photocopies from this and downloads from this to try and figure out how I could make this work for me. And what I ultimately decided was, as much as I want to be committed to journaling, I didn't want to worry about not having enough space to journal in here because I was taking it up by recreating these spreads. So they give you a weekly page. So this is all blank. And then you've got your section for each one of these. And then you have 7 blank pages for your days. And so that is, like you can see, if I'm sometimes when I'm journaling, I'm using this whole section. So ultimately this layout, which I think is beautiful and love a lot, I discarded because this is more about journaling than it is about tracking any of those good things. So I decided to use this weekly section as weekly highlights. So anything that was interesting or unique about the week, I'm trying to put in there, and that's kind of how I'm doing it. I was doing a habit tracker here, but that's now in my everyday carry, so I don't think it shows up, maybe once more, but the section is blank. I haven't figured out a use for it, and I'm okay with that. So we go through the journal for every single day. And then once we get to that, we get to our next. So here's week 2. Weekly layout, blank spot, and then we jump into the journaling. You can see that's where I kind of discarded things. Even got rid of this running timeline. So what I'm tracking basically in this format has not changed, and it may not the rest of the year, is media consumption and journaling. Week 3, there's my highlights, media consumption and journaling, and that is just continuing on. And then, and I'm not one of those people that's super dedicated and sits down every night and journals. I don't carry this with me, so it's not like I can really write things on the go, but I'll go back and back plan it, and I goofed up. I didn't realize what day this was, so I wrote a whole different day's stuff there. So I've got back planning goof, and then I kind of filled in what was left over from that particular day. Week 4, we're getting towards the end of January. Writing down, journaling things. Sometimes I don't have much to say, and that's all right too. And then here we are crossing over into February. And yeah, need to back plan for over the weekend the things that happened. And then I've got my little Coffee Monsters Co. stickers for the tabs. We go into February. So that's kind of that setup there. Now there are a few things in the back that I'm tracking as well. I have yet to find a B6 pencil board. I did find this one. This is a J. Boone Techo, and it's a B6 Slim. So you can see it's significantly slimmer than this page here. So this little tab doesn't stick out, but at least it gives me a pencil board if I'm wanting to have something to write against. It works as a bookmark, but not as much because it's too slim. I can't really grab it. Okay, so let's go to the notes section. So we already talked about, this is the end of the year. So they don't date any of the pages, your daily pages, just so you have the flexibility to use them how you want. And there's lots of really great ideas for doing that. Because I decided to not make this my daily carry, all those cool ideas I came up with are not really being used right now. So that's the banking information. And then I did figure out, since I gave myself a page per week, 52 weeks worth of banking information, how much that would take. And then I'm doing my sleep logs. So this is information my watch collects, so I don't usually do it as it's happening, but I'll go and fill it in. This is showing the actual time I'm sleeping from starting at noon to midnight, or to the next noon of the next day, to see. That way, if I needed to take naps or something, it wasn't being broken up between starting here and ending here or something weird like that. So I need to get my sleep log for February set up, but that goes very quickly. So I figured out how long that takes. And then I have reimbursement tracker. Oh, I turned it in without filling this out. But I do a lot of purchasing for church groups and school groups. And so I did do this. This happened on 1/31/25. I did print those. And I did not do one for the church because I hadn't purchased anything, but I did turn in one for the school, and I forgot to write down the date or the amount. So the church is going to be 0 because I didn't turn one in, but I'll have to write down the amount when I get my check. I will know what that is. Or I could call the office and just ask them to give me the amount for that, depending on how badly I want to fill this in. So I started last time I list, we'll see if I remember to fill this out. This is kind of, I'm putting it here because I have the space to put it here. I have 100 pages. But because I use this more of a journal than as my daily carry, I don't see this as often because I don't pick this up daily. And so, or even if I do journal daily, I don't necessarily flip through the back. So that's kind of not working for me as well as I would kind of like it to. Here's some grades that I'm doing. Myers-Briggs personality charts. Here's my book review section. And I've been see the books that I've been reading. I had a whole way of doing that last year. In my memory keeping, I used my Hobonichi cousin for everything. And this is the AVEX, so it's only 6 months. And I don't know how well you can see that, but that's how narrow it should be. And because of all the stuff that's in it, it's big and heavy, which is why I did not choose to use this again for this purpose, because it's too heavy to carry around. So, but this size was working well, so I may have to come up with a different thing, but I print these little things and I've got a place to review the book on the back. So if I end up moving this to the front section, I don't know. This is less than a month's worth of books that I've listened to. It may not fit well. So I don't know, may just keep it here. We'll see. That's undecided. And then aside from that, like I've got pen tests here, mostly highlighters, books to purchase, TV series that I'm enjoying watching. And then we'll see if there's more things. This may just be enough space for my books. Honestly, I may not want to put anything else in here. In the back here, I have, this came from Salty Katie, and it is, it's like a divider or a bookmark kind of thing. When I bought it originally, I thought that the page fit in here and it could kind of slide on and like be a little bit more cemented to your planner. And I have toyed with the idea of just tying off down here and undoing these stitches so it could, but at this point, I'm just leaving it for now. But I made this little thing for my Post-its just to kind of keep them together. I don't like bulk. This planner's bulky enough. So I kind of have those like that. I do like the pen holder. These pens are some of my favorites. It is a Pilot Dr. Grip 4+1. So 4 colors plus pencil. This is the pencil right here. And you've got black, blue, green, and red. And this comes off and there's an eraser. And I don't know that, it doesn't say what the pencil is. It's probably 0.5. And the pens are like 0.3 or 0.5. So they do write, it's ballpoint, and they do write very nice and small. So it is working quite well to journal with. And I have several of these in different colors. This is a piece of sticker paper, you know, like when you buy stickers and you peel all the stuff off. If I wanted to load this up with stickers, I could, but since I've already kind of decided putting stickers in this would just make it even heavier, it probably won't get used there. And this came from Happy Planner. It was a way to like organize little things. And it was just the right size to hold these little book review things. These are things I have yet to listen to that I've got downloaded on Audible. So as I finish listening to them, I can do the book review and I can just kind of keep that tucked away there. So that is how this planner is set up. Hope that was helpful. It is a really nice, luxurious planner, and I'm glad I came up with a way to use it, even though I felt ultimately that it ended up being too big. I look forward to having this around to pull out and look at and enjoy, and be something to read back on how my life went. So that's probably why I'm continuing to fill out a lot of the things in the front, the trackers and stuff, because I might throw that book away, my everyday carry, or I don't know that I'll keep it around to look through. But this will be a way to look through and be like, how was I feeling? What was I doing? What was my day like? What were the things that I had to deal with as far as chores and tasks and that sort of thing? So it's kind of nice to see all that together in one place. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching.